You've been in therapy for years. You understand your childhood trauma. You understand your attachment style. You've processed so much of what you've experienced. You can tell anyone why you are where you are. And yet you still find yourself stuck in the same patterns. You still people please. You still try to do things perfectly. You still say yes when you mean no. And you're starting to wonder, is something seriously wrong with me? Or am I missing something? And here's the truth, you are missing something. And I'm going to show you exactly what it is. I'm Jack Walker. My wife Tiffany and I are the founders of Your Return Path. Let's talk about what therapy does well. I am pro therapy. Millions upon millions of people have been helped with therapy. What it does very well, it helps you process and walk through trauma. It gives you insight into your childhood. It helps you understand better why you're doing what you're doing. It gives you great coping strategies. It provides a beautiful space for you to be heard. And yet, here's what I see people that have been in therapy for 5, 10, 15, or more years, they're still feeling stuck. And while they can tell you exactly why, they're like, I know that I people please because my mom was overwhelmed and I learned to take care of her. Or they may say, I'm a perfectionist because my dad only gave me approval when I performed at a very high level. I have abandonment wounds because my parents got divorced when I was 6. They know all of this, and yet they still keep doing the same patterns. The question is why? Because therapy focuses on understanding the past, but that understanding does not change your nervous system. The patterns that are built into your nervous system keep running. And the critical piece that therapy doesn't address is the vow. The decision you made as a kid when you were going through something very, very difficult that you did not understand because you were a kid and you made a very strong decision about it. So if dad wasn't around, you decided I'm not important enough for dad to show up. If mom was overwhelmed, you decided I have to take care of everyone or I won't be safe. You got love and praise every time you won that game or you did that thing excellently or you brought home all A's and you learned that you had to perform to be worthy. That decision became a vow. I have to do this thing in order to be safe, loved, or to belong. That's how it works. And that vow became architecture in your nervous system. So let's talk about what therapy does with a vow. Therapy says, let's understand where that came from. Let's process the pain around it. Let's build coping strategies to manage the vow. But what it doesn't do is break the vow because the vow is still running. Your nervous system still believes it's true. That's how it works. So you can understand the vow all day long, but you find yourself still repeating it because awareness does not update identity. Let me say that again. Awareness does not update identity. Let's say, for example, you're a people pleaser. In therapy, you explore why you became a people pleaser, your childhood conditioning, how it's showing up today, saying yes when you mean no, a lot of resentment, a lot of exhaustion, and then building in some great coping strategies that look like setting boundaries, self care, learning to say no. That's super helpful. But here's what's missing: the vow you made as a kid that said, I have to say yes to everyone or I will be abandoned. I have to say yes to everyone or I will be abandoned. Until you break the vow, until you reality check to see if that actually is giving you what you thought it was supposed to, until you witness the kid, truly witness that part of you that made that, and then update your nervous system by that witness, the pattern will keep running and you will be frustrated as hell. You'll know what you should say no to. You'll want to say no, but your body won't let you because the vow is still there. So now let's talk about what pattern breakthrough method. I designed and created the pattern breakthrough method. Let's talk about what it does differently and how it works at the identity level. So here's the process. Step 1. You have to find the vow. Not just I people please because of my childhood, but I decided as a kid that I have to please everyone or I'll be abandoned. We name the vow clearly and specifically. Step 2, you have to track it to origin. What moment, what early experience in your life, where was it that you made that decision? And then we go back to that actual experience where the vow got created. And that's you tracking it back to origin. Step 3, reality check the vow. We have to test it. Did it really, truly make you feel like you belonged every time you were making sure everyone was happy? Or did it just make you feel more alone, more exhausted, more invisible, and more resentful? The vow was promising safety, but what it was delivering was suffering. Step 4, then you go witness that younger you, that was living through that experience and those experiences that made that vow. And you witness the part of you that literally stood in the hardship and figured out a way to try to make themselves feel safe. And then we go back to that part and give them what they needed so desperately and let them know that they don't have to please everyone to be safe. You're allowed to have needs. You're allowed to matter. You just picked up a way of being because you thought it would make you feel safe, but it never has. And that part of you is exhausted. And then step 5 is updating the truth, right? We connect with that part of ourselves, and then we recognize within our adult selves, with adult wisdom, not kid logic, we recognize that the old vow, I have to please everyone or I will be abandoned, never worked. And the truth is that I am safe even when I say no. In fact, I am more safe because I am living true to the fact that my needs matter and that I am worthy as I am. And when this vow breaks, the pattern stops running. You don't have to try to force and affect change externally. It's an inside out approach because your identity, who you are to yourself, gets updated. So before, when you're living by the vow, you don't have to when you're living by the vow, you know you shouldn't say yes. You do it anyway. You're aware of the pattern, but the awareness doesn't stop it. You understand why, but you still keep repeating it after the vow. You don't have to force yourself to say no. You can say no because you mean it. The old pull to abandon yourself, it isn't there. You have more clarity than you've ever had in your life about what is right or wrong for you, independent of what anyone else will think. This pattern loses its grip because the identity of you to you shifted. So, how do you know if you're ready for a pattern breakthrough? That's the question. Well, one, you understand that you have patterns, but you just can't seem to stop repeating them. You've done loads of therapy and nothing is changing. You know how you want to do it differently, but you just can't. It just feels like your body won't let you. And you keep asking yourself, why do I know? Why do I do what I do when I know what I know. The beautiful thing is about pattern breakthrough work, you can do pattern breakthrough work while you're doing therapy. It's not one or the other, you can do both. Therapy creates the soil, pattern breakthrough plants the seeds. You can process your trauma and break the vow. You can understand your past and update your identity. They are not opposed to each other, but they are not the same thing. Okay, here's a quick client story. So a client comes in, she's been in therapy for 8 years. She knows everything about her people-pleasing pattern. She's processed it. She has compassion for herself. She knows her triggers, but she still says yes when she means no, and she still abandons herself. She does a pattern breakthrough session, and then 2 weeks later, she sends a message and she says, oh my God, for the first time ever, I was able to say no to my sister, that didn't work for me. And it was like it just came pouring out of my face before I even had time to really think about it. I didn't apologize. And the craziest part of all is that I didn't feel guilty. I just felt clear. Something definitely shifted in me. That's pattern breaking. That's where your body behaves differently in a way that feels resonant and aligned. And you don't feel the need to apologize or give excuses or reasons or make up lies why you can't do something. You just say, no, that doesn't work for me, and move on. And that is because you broke a vow and the pattern just can't run anymore. So let's talk about what becomes possible when you do this. You actually understand yourself. You get a lot more clear about what works for you and what doesn't. And not only that, you're actually able to say yes to what you want and no to what you don't want. You're not stuck in the same loop over and over and over. You're not expending energy trying to figure out how to be okay with the fact that you're just giving everything you've got to everyone all the time. You have energy for the things that matter to you. You have more ease and peace and flow in your life. Your insight becomes action. You return to the truth of yourself. So here's the question. Are you someone that has found yourself stuck in repeating patterns, even though you're doing therapy or you've done years of therapy? I promise you, you do not need more insight. You just need to find the vow that's running this pattern. So if you are someone like this and you're ready to break the pattern, to identify the vow, I'm inviting you into a free pattern breakthrough with one of our facilitators. That's right, I said free. I mean it. Come in, do a pattern breakthrough, experience it for yourself, and know what it's like when you break the pattern and find your life waiting for you on the other side. Just click the link below. We'll see you on the inside.